The ban, especially of Twisted Fate, very, very targeted at Messiah. He's widely regarded as one of the best Twisted Fates ever to have lived, ever to have roamed the mean streets of Summoner's Rift. And, you know, just very targeted. He's a very strong champion to begin with, but if you put him in the hands of someone who is world-renowned for the play, that's something you don't want to do.
And at the same time, we have an Olaf ban coming out from WeGigabyte aimed directly at Westrice. His jungle, or not jungle Olaf, his top lane Olaf is quite a force. He's been using it these past few games, going teleport and ghost just for that global presence. So they know, the teams know each other, they respect each other, and we have Alistar being first picked by WeGigabyte. We said this a lot yesterday, but Asia loves Alistar.
They really, really do. They say they will first pick or first ban him every time, just because the enormity of his CC is so high. You know, the pulverize, the headbutt, and then the tankiness to boot is really, really strong of his unbreakable will, and his triumphant roar heal is nothing to shake a stick at, I would say. Now Curse, first two pickups there, actually really interesting. Skarner and Shen. Skarner, not someone you see a whole lot on the NA scene, but I guess St. Vicious is going to try out his jungle Skarner here. How do you feel about Skarner being in the jungle and Shen potentially being up top?
So Shen in the top lane, it's always been relatively strong. You know, when they buffed him, it was amazing. Now it's a solid pick, does have some counters like Vladimir, but that is banned out. So if they can go for a 1v2, that will be a good lane for Shen. If it's a 1v1, it could be problematic, but in general, Shen is just safe in the top lane. Now Skarner, that's something that we've been seeing a lot more in Europe, and actually Dignitas, coming back from OGN, has been playing Skarner like crazy. I will dominate, always picks him up. So it's a good, solid jungler, very aggressive, and Impale, his ultimate, that 1.7 second suppression is amazing. Just drag someone out, get him out of position, murder him.
Yeah, and the next two pickups from Wii are going to be Sona and Rumble. I've actually seen them play Rumble a few times, and it's very, very scary. They were just screaming LGN kind of, you know, before this match started, and their team comp was Rumble, Lulu, Orianna, Malphite, and Corki. And let me tell you something, when Orianna put that ball on Malphite, he used his Unstoppable Force in, right on top of the Equalizer, right on top of the Wild Growth, and the Corki Phospho Bomb. Everyone melted on Team Legion. So they're really focusing on team comps and on team synergy. Right now, they're going to be able to lock someone down between Pulverize and Crescendo. All the while, Equalizer will be ticking right on top of them, assuming they, you know, have very, very good positioning with it. Which, let's face it, they really do. Especially, Calmi is their top lane for WeGigabyte, and he has been playing spectacularly. The first game we had pretty much of the tournament, WeGigabyte versus, I believe it was Team Dynamic, or Orbit, kind of one of the younger teams, I suppose. But Calmi played an incredible Aurelia. He absolutely dominated top lane. And when you dominate top lane like that in a one-on-one situation, you snowball and you start affecting team fights hugely. And that's exactly what he did. We'll see if he can do the same thing with Rumble, if he can have a repeat performance of that success. Graves and Rise will round out the team of WeGigabyte, while Curse picks up Corki, Zyra, and potentially Blitzcrank. Now, Elements has been playing a fantastic Blitzcrank. Studio and myself were able to cast a Curse King of the Hill series, and he landed some clutch grabs. How do you feel about a Corki Blitzcrank lane?
Alright, so the way that lane works out, if Sona can go ahead and do her thing against Corki and Blitzcrank, you know, spam him with Valor, get those power chords off, sustain any sort of poke coming out from Corki, it will just be a nightmare for Curse, because it's going to be constant damage. You can't really ignore it. You have to deal with it. Actually, Blitzcrank being switched to Soraka, which might work out.
So they're aware of that constant
they're
damage,
aware.
just like you're talking about. So
It's
so
a risk.
maybe they heard. Maybe they heard you.
If Blitzcrank had gotten some good hooks off, it would be awesome. It's like you pull him in, you punch him in the air, Corki shoots him in the face. The combo is it's amazing damage. But if you don't land it, and if you land it too late when you've already been poked down enough, you die, and you die hard. So we actually have Elements playing Soraka, a much safer pick, someone who's really fallen out of the scene lately, but with Corki, she can go ahead, spam Infuse on him, give him back that mana he so desperately needs to spam Phosphorus Bomb, and just, you know, be aggressive, be a huge pain with his spells in that bot or top or wherever they put the AD carry support duo lane.
Yeah, Corki is definitely a champion that has to kind of burn through his mana a little bit to put out the burst that he needs between the Phospho Bomb, his missiles, you know, his Gatling gun, stuff like that. So pairing him with Soraka is a really, really smart idea. And just like you said, the Sona Graves would have been such a high sustain lane that the Blitz Corki just probably wouldn't have been able to keep up. There would have been some key grabs, I'm sure, you know, when it comes to mid to late game, because that can usually turn the tides of any fight in any game. But Curse recognizing that, you know, we wouldn't be able to keep up with the damage output and the sustain, so we're going to go for a sustain lane ourselves. You know, of course, Blitzcrank has no built-in sustain, so using Soraka instead is actually going to be really beneficial to them in this lane. We'll see how it goes. Again, Pluto is myself. Studio's right over there. We do have a fantastic match going on the mainstream as well. But if you're here with us, then we appreciate your patronage and we appreciate your continued viewership.
Much love.
But Singapore Sentinels versus TSM on the main stage is also going to be a cool match.
Awesome. That is a cool match. With cool casters, I mean, all of this event has had just good matches. There has never been a match where I'm just like, yeah, I don't think that's going to be interesting. Like, there have been a few stomps. Curse actually crushed Orbit to get here.
Yeah.
But, you know, aside from a couple, I'd say the only other match besides that would be, I guess, TD and Wii. Both teams actually in this match have crushed a team.
Yeah.
You know, every match has been good. It's been going to the best of threes, to the full 3 rounds very often.
But
and, you know,
Curse was sent here by Singapore Sentinels, who were looking really, really strong. I've been able to talk to all of them, including their manager. They are an awesome team. They're humble. They're nice. They're just here to play, and I really hope it goes well for them. They knocked Curse down to the losers bracket. We, on the other hand, a little bit of an upset, I would say. Legion came into this tournament kind of like a dark horse, an underdog, if you will, and were able to take out a very strong Eastern opponent in Wii Gigabyte.
I have to say, so many people put Legion as the ace pick, but you know what? They took out Wii. Wii's here.
They're guaranteed third place right now, I believe, and it's going to be fun
going
to
to
see.
regionals.
Yeah.
We actually do have the game start. We'll go ahead, switch back into that. The pings are coming out. Will there be an invade? I don't know. Both teams kind of spreading out, actually. It looks like Curse going to go ahead and put a ward down with Soraka, and the rest of Wii kind of spread out. Both teams looking very defensive.
Yeah, they're actually pinging opposite sides kind of Curse's jungle right now. Wonder what they will do. It looks like Curse is going to sit around their blue buff, or maybe kind of go over to the Wolves. Let's see what happens right now. Graves a little bit far away. Graves is in that bottom tri-brush right now, while the rest of his team is up near Curse Wraiths. See if any. It doesn't look like they're in a position really to meet just yet. Right now, you see Calmi just using his Electro Harpoon to check that brush a little bit. Of course, it's one of those abilities where you will hear the sound if it hits someone. And, you know, of course, Rumble has no mana, so there's really no cost to checking a brush with that, which is always really cool. You know, if you have Orianna, you have to use mana to throw her ball in the brush, which isn't the most effective thing in the world. Or Mystic Shot from Ezreal. Absolutely free brush check from Electro Harpoon? Sure, why the heck not?
The range is a bit short, but it is his best first skill because, honestly, Flame Spitter level 1 just does not do enough damage. So, it's a good pick. You don't really lose anything. I do love the safety because, you know, every bush can be a death bush. That's why he spams twice, just in case. You know, if they walk into someone like Zyra, they get rooted, they get taunted by Shen, they die. So, Wii Gigabyte being very cautious, which is just the norm for these level 1 engagements.
Yeah, we saw an absolutely kind of hilarious play the other day when Cassiopeia was actually checking brushes with her Poison Blast, her Noxious Blast, and the one brush she didn't check contained 5 members of the enemy team, and she died. It was really sad. So checking every brush is really important. Right now, Wii Gigabyte will be spotted by Curse's ward in that jungle. Looks like Wii Gigabyte is actually going to start the blue buff here. Will Shin be able to see it? Will he go and check it? Looks like he is going to go check it, but in the meantime, Saintfish's Nijack and Elements are actually going to do the same thing, pressuring the blue buff of Wii Gigabyte for YJTM. He is kind of just dancing around here, waiting, biding his time, maybe going in. Here's Corki as well. This is a 4-on-2. Here comes Rise. He'll make it a 4-on-3, but who will take this blue buff? They're going to contest it just a little bit. That ward is still there from Curse. If Saintfishes would like to go over and try to smite steal, it looks like he's just not. He's going to go ahead and make his way onto his own race and just kind of say, it's okay. We tried, and that's all that matters.
We tried?
We tried?
We tried.
Oh,
okay.
Man. That was a stretch.
We do have a lane swap going on, though, so Curse sent Element to Cop up to the top lane to try and pressure out Rumble, and Shen in that 1v2 situation is going to be able to CS fairly well. He can use the Vorpal Blade to, you know, sustain himself with last hits. At the same time, he has a range way to get last hits. Rumble, same deal with Electro Harpoon, but he doesn't have good sustain. His best sustain is going to be absorbing damage with his Scrap Shield, which frankly isn't very good at absorbing damage.
It gets better, you know, as you get higher level, of course. I mean, that's how any ability works, spoilers. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The thing about these 2v1 situations here for either team is that the solo, neither of them have mana. So all of these ranged, the last hitting abilities are free of cost, you know. There's a little bit of energy, of course, that is needed from Shen, but it regens very, very quickly. Down bot, we see Shen going in, taunting Graves, taking a little bit of counter damage. Actually, Westrice already down to about half health just from the harass and buckshot of Sona and Graves. And they are absolutely destroying this turret. It's down to half health right now from the initial push. I think they just made it to that turret. So it looks like we're seeing the very, very aggressive Asian playstyle that we're so used to.
This is the common thing. You take a turret quickly, it's aggressive, you get a lot of global gold for your team, a very big advantage at, the 5-minute mark to get 750 across everybody, and then you roam top. So they will swap up, they will play aggressive against Curse, they will take these turrets, because if they do, they can get that 2v2 that they want to, they can get a very quick lead, and they can get into team fights with all this map control just being pushed into enemy lanes.
And actually we see Alistar maybe encroaching upon a very, very low Skarner. He doesn't even know he's right on the other side of that wall. If he put a cup to that wall and listened, he would hear the sounds of a Scorpion. But it looks like he's just going to come into Tri-Brush, come to top, and he will get a gank off of Elements. Actually, Calmy turns on the aggression right there, gets ignited of Elements, but Elements expertly flashes the Pulverize, but it's not going to be enough. The counter flash from Alistar, even though he was exhausted, will land the CC on Soraka, and she does go down. So right now, Cop is going to be on his own up there. But now it's a one-on-one,
It's a one-on-one Corki, versus Rumble. The thing is, Rumble still got the experience. He wasn't being zoned away from the turret, so you get the experience. And Rumble at the low levels doesn't really need a whole lot. Just his Flame Spitter, level 2 is going to deal immense amounts of damage.
Look at YJTM right there being marked right now by Curse 9 Jackie. Saint Fish is well aware that he is just on the other side of that wall. Will Saint make a move here? It looks like he will not. He does not have red buff. Skarner still has built-in slows with all of his abilities and stuff, but, just deciding not to go for it. Between, maybe are they, do you think they're weaker right now? Like, who would win in a Ryze Alistar versus Zyra Skarner matchup at this point in time, Studio?
It's all going to be about who gets the root off. If Zyra can actually get a root off, actually Westrice being zoned away from that bot lane, so they're not even just pushing the turret, they're creep skipping. Now this is what they want to do to Rumble in the top lane. They want to go ahead, zone him from the experience, and unfortunately Shen's falling pretty far behind. Rumble almost level 6, about halfway there. But if Zyra had gotten the root off, that's a lot of great damage. But if not, Alistar can get his CC off, if Zyra or Ryze can get his combo off, they would probably die unless they land that root. So it's
basically he who strikes first laughs last.
And the thing is, we saw SGS, and Wee's definitely good at dodging skill shots. Jackie tries hard, but if you can react to it, it's not just Jackie.
Yeah, St. Vicious and Cop and Elements are actually going to respond in kind, trying to pressure down top turret. But again, Rumble showing his strength right there. That Flame Spitter is not single target damage, of course. It's AoE wave clear, and he's using it to great effect right now. Westrice down to his tier 2 bot turret. And Alistar actually waiting in the wings up top. Looks like he may want to go for a gank onto Cop and Elements. We'll see if he does make it. He's not wasting time up there. He's just chilling. That's all he's doing, waiting for a gank. There is a ward from Elements in that top brush right there, but of course, YJ kind of looking for a lane gank, or maybe just to pressure this lane. They took bot turret so fast, and now you see Graves and Sona moving up top. That tells me that Rumble's probably going to go bot right now and just enjoy a free farm push lane against a low level Shin. Not low level, they're roughly the same level right there. But Shin, let's see, he's got 17 CS right now to Rumble's 29. So Rumble is in the lead right there. Rumble was able to pick up first blood as well. So if Rumble was to transition bottom right now against the Shin would be very, very weak in comparison. But right now, Curse actually spotting that 3 members of We are up top pushing that turret, and they're saying, all right, you take turret, we'll take dragon. Hopefully they can knock this thing out pretty quickly. With those Zyra plants, they're doing a lot of damage to the dragon. But actually, here comes Ryze, and St. Vicious falling very low, has very little mana. Does he have smite? He does not have smite. And this has been so dangerous for St. Vicious in the past. We saw just not last game, but against Singapore Sentinels, there was a time when he pressured dragon without smite, and it was actually stolen by a Gragas barrel. So St. Vicious not learning his lesson there, was able to pick it up with his team, but still a very, very risky dragon call, I would say.
At the same time, though, they knew they should be able to win the fight if Ryze showed they could at least kill him. At the same time, top turret goes down, mid turret's now being pushed. Wee's just taking out these turrets left and right. Only a 1,300 gold difference because of that dragon. But, with these turrets going down so quickly, I mean, mid is about to die. That will go down. What? One more shot, one more shot. There we go. There we go.
Ryze last hitting that turret right there. And now here's Graves and Sona coming down to join the party. And Rumble looks like he's going to check Dragon right there. No vision from We on Dragon. They have a ward just north of Dragon, but they may not have seen the Dragon take. But now they know. Again, Rumble going to come down here, flame spit all these creeps, push the lane back in his advantage. Westrice forced to go back. Westrice 29 CS right now to Rumble's 38. Still has that first blood on those. St. Vicious actually may get caught here. Will the Rune Prison land? There's the speed up for Sona. St. Vicious turns around to put a ward in that brush. I thought for sure there would be a Rune Prison right there with a nice follow-up from Team Wii. but it just did not happen. St. Fish is waiting in the wing, wanting to get a smite off. Will he get the smite steal off? He knows they're going to donate this to one of the other players, so he's pretty much assuming there that Alistar wasn't going to smite. He was going to save his smite. Therefore, Saint was hoping that his smite damage would, you know, outburst either a Graves, Buckshot, or a Rise combo.
Which it should be able to pretty easily, but at the same time, you know, he's scared. You know, getting into a risky position like that to actually steal the blue buff, like they might get it, but what if they just kill St. Vicious?
Yeah,
in
at
response?
what cost? At what cost?
All right, we got blue buff and gave it right back to them. Damn.
Exactly. And going into a team where he knew Alistar was there, he knew Graves was there, he knew Rise was there, he knew Sona was there. That's a lot of CC to try to walk into and risk
blinded,
a smite
you
steal.
get knocked up, you get caged. There are so many ways to keep someone
Yeah.
locked down coming out from Wii. It's actually a really solid CC composition. Curse, they do have a good amount of CC on their own, but not quite the same, I'd say, level. So it's easy to land a Rune Prison, it's easy to land a Flash Pulverize Taunt. The route coming out from Zyra is a bit trickier, so the consistent easy to land CC is there for Wii.
The thing about the CC coming out of Curse, the only one that is like a hard CC, and by hard CC, of course, I mean you click the CC and it happens, is Skarner's Impale, which is still a very close range ability. Oh, actually, the Equalizer coming out and it's zoning out Cop.
Elements.
He used it to zone out Cop. Right now, here comes the Shen ultimate. It does land, and the Flash Taunt from Westrice will lock down Calmay. Will he go down to the true damage auto attacks of Cop? Yes, indeed, he will. Zyra was coming up to join that party as well, but looks like she was a little bit late. Not able to pick up an assist there, but still a great pickup from Curse. But, you know, right now the bot lane of Wii is pushing, and they pinged it too. They know Westrice is now up top. They know Westrice can't get down there. He does not have teleport this game, so they're going to push down this tier 2 turret, it looks like, and the only one there to defend right now from Curse is St. Vicious on Skarner.
Zyra is heading down there, but that was a great play overall. You know, Rumble thinking he can kill level 4 Soraka, which he should be able to pretty easily unless Shen is there to protect her. But right now, this bottom part is actually Impel being used onto If. Can they get the CC? The burst is high. Sona goes down. Right now, Messiah trying to get out of there. So despite the fact that it was a 2v3, just the great CC coming out from Impel and Zyra's amazing burst gets that kill. On top lane, they don't take the turret, but they do push it up quite a bit.
Yeah, but at least Curse defended their tier 2 turret. It's not down, and that's the important thing. You know, that turret will live to see another battle. Right now, Nijaki using his snare to absolutely decimate the creep wave. Just showing, you know, Zyra just has a lot of AoE and a great wave clear. He's not quite to that point yet where he has enough AP to absolutely clear the creep wave. He will get there eventually, but he actually opts to go for a Chalice of Harmony first and a Doran's Ring. How do you feel about that? You know, that particular AP build, especially going against a Rise.
So it's very common to go ahead and see the Chalice on mana-intensive champions, and Zyra she will spam spells like crazy. You know, her Q has a very short cooldown, her root is actually pretty short for a AoE root. So she spams a lot, she needs that mana to go ahead and sustain, and it's a good pickup, because it will become an Athene's eventually, and with that, you know, the more cooldown she has, the more plants she can put out, the more she can have that consistent CC, the slow that you make from, I believe, what are those plants called? The Vine Lashers. Vine Lashers.
Oh, the Vine Lashers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Vine Lashers.
It's the Thorn Spitters and the Vine Lashers.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
And Thorn Spitters, they're easier to make because you have to. It's not as hard to land the skill shot. But Vine Lashers do have a sweet slow associated.
I wish she could just make tulips or daisies or something. Just beautiful roses, but apparently that's not the case.
Pretty up Summoner's Rift. It could look nice.
She makes some very offensive plants that just deal a lot of damage. They can't just look pretty. But right now, Westrice may get spotted by Messiah right here. Actually, looks like they're just going to walk right on by each other, unbeknownst. Right now, Westrice does get spotted by a ward. That's not there. I'm sorry. The vision was switching. I wasn't quite sure whose vision was going on right there. But Westrice is going to get out of there. They are pinging around where he is, so they can kind of assume. You know, we see oracles already. Not already. It's the 12-minute mark, really, but. Alistar's had his oracles for a while, and St. Vicious also had his oracles for a while. Saint loves to get those early oracles, and hasn't really been paying off. I haven't really seen him kill that many wards so far in the match.
I mean, normally you'd get that oracles, you'd be able to gank the lanes more, but with these pushing going on, it's hard to get to the wards. Actually, Equalizer being used onto Westrice. Can he get out of here? A lot of damage coming out from Calmy. The headbutt pulverize is enough to take down Westrice, so a turret being picked up by Wii, a kill being picked up by Wii, Dragon being pinged like crazy by Wii, though it is still dead, so not much can be accomplished there. This is, you know, a heavy push strat, and it seems to be paying off.
Yeah, and they don't have an exact timer on that Dragon since Curse did take it out of their vision range. I don't think they know exactly when it went down. They cleared it, I would say. They cleared the little skull thing probably 1 to 2 minutes right after the Dragon went down. But it should be up relatively shortly. There it is. It's up right now, actually. So they had a roundabout time. But there's the aggression onto St. Fish. Desire Ultimate will deal tons of damage to YJ and If. And the taunt of Westrise will land onto 3 members as well, locking them in place. But can Curse take advantage of this? I do not know. The rocket's coming out. Rumble gets very, very low, and now the exhaust comes onto Graves. He has a red buff. He's trying to kite around, but it looks like we and Curse will just both pull out of that. But a 2-for-1 exchange in the favor of Curse. St. Fish is the only one going down in that fight.
Unfortunately, Sona doesn't have the HP to really go in there and, tank and do anything besides spam her ultimate. And that's a problem Sona has. She has to be a very upfront, very aggressive, and someone like Zyra is amazing at punishing that. Because you know what? Her ult, the AoE on it was reduced by a little bit. It's still a lot of damage. It's still an incredibly big spot. And when they fought in that tiny little jungle spot, you know what? It was easy to hit Sona as she tried to ult.
And that line right there, it's kind of like a little alleyway. Guess what that's perfect for? A Zyra E.
Zyra
and a Sona ult.
It was actually great for both teams in the end. A little bit stronger just because, Sona ain't tanky.
Yeah, and the key to that fight, in my opinion, Westrise landing a 3-man taunt. If those 3 members of Team We were able to continue dealing the damage they wanted to deal, then it would have been really bad for Curse. Not to mention, I believe Calmy did not use his ultimate there, or
he used it at the
end. At the last second.
That's something actually
because
really
I could picture a beautiful crescendo followed by an equalizer. Guess what? You're just gonna sit there all day taking enormous amounts of fire.
Do like that really slow run where the animation just like, I want to move, but I'm trapped in like glue.
I'm trapped right here. What am I gonna do? I can't run through glue. I think that would be not a good thing to do.
Well, there is, I guess, the Siege does have glue. They do have like a glue type thing.
Yeah, mega adhesive. So right now, Gigabyte just showing that they have a particular, I would say, damage method in mind. They want crescendo, they want equalizer, they want collateral damage, they want AoE rise ultimate. They want a lot of stuff. And, fighting in that jungle, very, very dangerous for Curse. But at the same time, Curse does have Zyra ultimate. Curse does have, the E from Zyra. They have the line taunt from Shin. So they could very well turn one of those bad fights around and into their favor. But right now, we, down just a hair, but they're up a dragon. They're down only by kills. They're up in gold, though, because of the dragons and early towers.
The dragons and the turrets really building up, keeping them in this game. It's very odd. Like, both teams have abilities where if they mash them at each other, it's a great AoE comp. And the AoE seems to be a little bit more in favor of Curse, just because if Zyra can get the AoE set up with her ultimate, the knockup, that's going to be a huge amount of CC coming out for them. It looks like there is a bit of pressure towards mid lane or the jungle. Curse is grouped up quite early. They grouped up very early to take out these turrets. Now they're kind of farming, so both teams trying to group up. Shen, of course, can split push. His ultimate will be up in about 20 seconds, and he is a split pushing nightmare.
That's exactly what it does. His strength lies exactly in that. He can split push for days and teleport into any fight that he so chooses. Or the even scarier thing to me is that if a fight is either going well for Curse and they know that they can win it anyway without him, then he can stay bot lane.
He can take those turrets.
Or if they know that they're getting absolutely destroyed and have no chance of winning, he can still stay bot lane. So it's kind of an opportunity cost thing. It's like, do I stay bot lane and stop the push here? Do I help the team even though maybe someone was caught out and is not going to be able, and they're not going to be able to win the fight just hands down? So he'll stay bot. It's all about a decision-making process with Shen in that respect, and he doesn't have teleport on top of that. We've seen Westrise the past few games actually run teleport pretty much on every one of his top lane champions. It's been Jax, it's been Olaf. Shin, of course, kind of has a built-in teleport, but a summoner teleport on top of that would absolutely be pivotal.
Well, we actually saw a lot of teleports too to counter out other Shen picks, but Westrise, he's got the Shen himself, and Gigabyte deciding, the Ignite on Rumble did pay off quite a bit. But, it's one. Actually, Impel being used on the Messiah, a lot of damage. Here comes the Equalizer, but Zyra does knock out 2 people. YJ's in the enemy team trying to get the CC. Crescendo comes up, only hits 2 people. They do pick up Westrise. Calmy trying to get out of there. A lot of damage being dealt, and just one good pick coming out for Gigabyte.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a pick they got off. They killed Westrise, even though Curse really hard initiated there, and that's looking really, really good for We. That's exactly what they want. If you can win a fight, when the enemy team is the aggressor and is the engager, then that shows you're in a pretty good position right there. Usually, you look to win the fights that you engage, and you have to just play defensively for when they engage. Of course, that seems rudimentary, of course, but like. If you can win the fights that you're engaged upon, then you're sitting good, you're sitting pretty, and We knows that they have a gold advantage. They're tied in kills now. They're up 4 turrets, And every time Curse goes down a member, we responds with a turret. So they're not just saying, oh, we got to kill, let's all go back and buy, let's go buy a new dress or something over at the nearest shop. They're saying, oh, we killed you, we're also going to take your turret. And that's the aggression that Asian teams really, really show.
And that's just a good way to play, you know. You get a kill, take advantage of it. You don't get a kill every time. This is a very low kill game, only 8 kills. And every time it happens, we take something. Mid turret is being pressured by Curse right now. They want to do something about it, but, you know, they're scared now. The ultimates are all up for... well, actually, no, Sona's ultimate is still down. Graves has just come up, so never mind that. But, you know, they have long cooldowns with the Channel. And that's kind of scary, you know, without the Channel, it's a lot of damage that you could normally mitigate. And, you know, he won't be able to taunt in, you know, won't be able to split push. A lot of control goes to Wii when that ult is on cooldown, so they got to be cautious.
Element's almost being caught out there, but that ward, actually, you will get Rune Prison, and the failed combo from YJ will not lock him up. He went for the pulverized headbutt combo, but he did it a hair too early, and the pulverized landed only on himself, knocking no one up. And I feel like they know that Curse may be recalling here. It looks like they're going to push out mid lane, or they wouldn't dare go to Dragon or Baron at this point. That's going to happen all the time, saying Dragon is Baron and Baron is Dragon. That happens.
The Dragon Baron.
Way too much. I'm going to fix that myself eventually. But right now, we'll just go with it. Right now, Graves pushing down bot. Shin is going to come down to counter push that as well. Of course, we spoke. He does have his ultimate. It's not up right now, though. So if we would like to engage, they could very well do it. They're pinging a Westrice. They're going to try to flank him right there. He may be caught in a bad place. He's in that brush. When will he try to taunt? He taunts, but gets headbutted right out with a Rune Prison. He was flying through the air and got Rune Prison saying, you ain't going nowhere.
Yo, Westrice, get back up on that wall, said YJ.
Get on that wall,
Punted him right in there.
And that's exactly what happened. Westrice goes out very fast. The aggressive flash from Messiah absolutely decimates Jackie. And they're going to say, we'll take this turret too. That's 2 kills for nothing. But a brilliant flash engage there from Messiah, knowing his team had the follow-up equalizer and collateral damage. Wow, it's Zyra she got like just weed eaten right there. Like somebody just came through with a weed eater or a lawnmower and just cut her down to size. They used one of the TMs from Pokemon that was cut, and they cut that small brush blocking their way. Great job right there.
She wasn't even a Pokemon to use cut on. She was just a little, little disturbance in their way.
Yeah.
And the damage is high. That's what's so good about the Rise Rumble combo, actually. You flash forward, you get a Rune Prison off their caught out, you start using your burst as Rise, all of a sudden Rumble's just like, yo, I'm going to kill you again. I have Equalizer, he uses it from far range, it's so much damage to deal with, you're caught there, can't lead it, and you die. Gigabyte, all of a sudden, they've taken an inhibitor, they've taken a 5,500 gold lead. They were pretty equal, you know, about 2K, maybe 3K above. Now they're ahead significantly.
And that's exactly what taking advantage does. They saw Westrice was a little bit overextended. They knew their position. They were able to transition from mid down to bot in such a way that they were behind him. They caught Westrice, subsequently caught Jackie, and said, okay, we'll take tier 3 turret, we'll take inhibitor in bot lane, we'll take dragon. They picked up they like went on a shopping spree right there. They were just like, oh yeah, we'll take all this stuff, put it in the back, and it's all free for us right now.
Yes.
And Curse is giving out handouts, and that's not what you want to do, especially against this very strong Asian team of Wii Gigabyte.
You know, late game.
The
late game is amazing for Wii Gigabyte. Rise, Graves, and then the Alistar Sona backup, and Rumble is no slouch himself late game. He can always get the equalizer damage out, so the late game is amazing on Wii Gigabyte. Curse does have a solid late game, but you know, they're entering it in a really bad position because Wii is just really far ahead. I mean, Graves at 202 CS, up 70 CS from Comp. So Porky behind so much.
Yeah, and you know, if you know the enemy team has, look at that quick draw away from the grasping roots of Jackie. Pitch perfect, just pixel perfect dodging, and really great reflexes right there. The thing about going into actually, will they engage on the Graves? Looks like they did. The Skarner pull will land on it. He tries to quick draw away, and the flash, but it is going to be for nothing. He will go down, and the Strelia's Reverie is popped from Curse. They want to go up top, and they need to take advantage of this right now. Wii Gigabyte does not have their AD carry in WX. Will they be able to engage on it? Westrice trying to pursue. The Strelia's Reverie is not up. Do they have any other move speed? Of course, St. Vicious does have, he doesn't have his ultimate, but he does have his shield to speed him up. The flash, grasping roots, and the taunt. Kalmi is locked into this Zyra ultimate. He tries to flash out of it. He still gets knocked up, turns around with the equalizer, landing on 4 members of Team Curse. He falls. The pursuit onto YJ and Messiah is huge. A nice taunt landing on 2 members of them. Sona goes down. Double kill for Corki. Now he wants to catch up in this thing. Graves pulls ahead, and Corki says, I'm not letting you get that far ahead. I am right on your heels right now. A great, great fight from Curse.
But they have to retreat. They can't actually do anything. They know their base is in jeopardy.
Yep.
Guess what? Graves is going to come up. We could actually take Baron right now, and there's not a lot Curse could do about it. So that early turret, that early inhibitor coming back in spades just because they lost a fight. They lost, what, 3 people in the end? 4 people? And Curse could not do anything about it because their base is in jeopardy.
No, and that is the strength of this early game tower kill kind of aggression style. Because, oh, St. Fish is actually going to go on to Messiah with YJ in tow. Here comes Elements right behind him, but it looks like he's just going to Astral Blessing heal up. Saint is spotted by that ward. Now Elements will spot that ward and take it down with his crit bananas. 3 bananas there, and he is done. Gigabyte WX, let's see what he will do, waiting in this brush ever so patiently. He's the elusive Graves, stalking his prey. Use the smoke screen over the wall, but actually finds a Scorpion in that brush. That is a dangerous brush, but he still has his Quicksilver Sash. He did buy a Quicksilver Sash just for the Skarner ultimate, and I mean, that's the smartest thing you can do right there.
Are they going to rush Baron now that they know Skarner can't ultimate Rise? That was just a bait. That was just a bait out the Skarner ultimate. Wow. Now they don't have that great CC to start off the fight, and Baron being pressured by Gigabyte already down to 6,000 HP.
And what is Curse going to do about this? St. Vicious does have his smite. He does not have his flash, however. It looks like is just going to pull off of this. They know their bot lane is pushing in very, very hard because of those super minions. But again, Westrice, global presence. He can stay down there. He can try to clear them. And then anytime the fight breaks out at Baron, he TPs right in. And we is absolutely respecting that. They're saying, you know, we could go for a 4v5, but Shin just turns it back into a 5v5 almost instantaneously. But at this point in time, do you think we could pressure the Baron, pressure a fight that they may lose, but if they do lose it, and maybe Curse will be low enough not to take Baron, and their bot lane is still pushing and knocking at the Nexus turret door?
Well, the problem is they're actually doing a great job on Curse, keeping that bottom lane pushed out. They're relatively close to the Nexus, but, you know, Westrice sitting there making sure no super minions build up, no chance of those Nexus turrets really being taken, unless it takes a couple minutes. So they should be safe down there, and they're cautious about the Baron. We've seen this before where one Baron play just completely throws a game.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, they lost a lot of their lead with that past engagement. They're only up about 3,000 gold. So they're being cautious. They're being safe. They could maybe win a fight, but that actually the Baron debuff might be enough to lose it for them. All
right, they're going to go ahead and clear that ward in the Baron pit right now. Messiah actually just out of sight range. Oh, but they'll see his spells taking race. Nijaki tries to respond with his Grasping Roots to take that down, but just barely missing. The race already running around the other side of the wall right now. Pings coming out from Wii around the Baron area. I think they want to be in this brush right outside of red buff. But will it work? Will the bait work? What's going to happen here? Both teams are very close, neck and neck. This game is only separated by 1 kill, only separated by 3K gold, which is actually really, really surprising. So considering, you know, Wii is up 5 turrets and they're down 1 kill, they still have a 3K gold advantage. 2K gold, 2.6K gold, I believe, to be exact. I'm no math.
Curse went back to base though, and we actually have Wii Gigabyte starting that Baron one more time. It's going down. It's down to 7,000 HP. Curse, they only have about 5 seconds to really get there.
Elements is clearing wards right now with his oracles. That ward just like baited it. This should be Wii Gigabyte's Baron. What will Saint do? Will he get the flash? No, he actually does not. He opts to leave the Baron for the enemy team, knowing he could potentially be outsmited, die, and if he goes in, gets outsmited and dies, that's game.
Yeah,
you know,
they will lose that bottom inhibitor. They will lose probably all their inhibitors. Just a very slow, long push will result, and you know it's almost impossible to come back from those situations. Curse though, they're still alive. They're still in this. It's going to be hard to deal with that Baron though, because you know what? They can go ahead. They can push like crazy. They can be aggressive. They can siege a turret, and because of the Baron regeneration, it's like they have their own personal Soraka's. Actually, Sona's, I'd say, will be the best comparison. Personal Sona's constantly spamming him of Valor and Arya of Perseverance.
Rather than one heal every like 14 or 15 seconds, pretty much.
Yeah, it's a good heal, but man, that button takes forever to come off cooldown.
Yeah, but look at the gold advantage. Graves, 10.3K gold to Corki's 8K gold. Even though Corki is 4-0-2, Graves is farming so effectively. He's riding his tractor there. He's farming really, really well. 250 CS right now to Corki's 169. You know, Corki's big right now. Corki's 4-0-2. He has the Infinity Edge. He's working on Eternity Force right now, but will he get it in time? This game could end in the next few minutes right now, and we is saying, we is saying, fight us. We dare you. We're here. We have Baron. We're taking down your bot inhibitor with little to no pressure or engage from Curse.
Not the double wards, no!
Oh, 50 gold for the team of WeGigabyte. That changes everything. Actually, Sona getting locked down by the long-range grasping roots. That is a lot of damage. Zyra has so much burst. It's absolutely, that was just like a one spell combo. That was it. There's no really follow-up Q, I don't think that hit her, and no ultimate
It was just 2 spells and the plants hitting her at the same time, though. Sona's the squishiest target on the team.
True.
She did not take that much damage compared to, like, a Gragas Bro, as we've seen in the past. That's actually kind of indicative. Actually, then when Jackie getting hit, the Impale comes out onto Messiah. Jackie does survive for a little while, but does get taken down. In the end, can we turn this around? Can they actually finish off this fight? They're chasing onto Curse. A lot of damage coming out, but Curse trying to kite this as much as he can. St. Vicious does get taken down. Westrice, what can you do? He flashes to the turret. We trying to chase right now. They need to go head catch something.
They need this, and Westrice gets caught by the pulverized headbutt combo, but a great feint and Shadow Dash will get him out of harm's way. Right now, Messiah is just going to keep focusing on this turret, just keep focusing on the creeps. They want this middle inhibitor. They just got 2 for 2 right there, but the members of WeGigabyte right now aren't the strongest pushers. You know, they lost their AD, so they're not able to siege turrets really, really effectively. You know, granted, you know, the AP does scale with attacking buildings and turrets and inhibitors, stuff like that. But, you know, Ryze, of course, doesn't have a lot of AP to his
119 AP, that's going to be, I guess, a turret tickle.
I believe it scales like 50% of your AP.
Yeah, 40 or 50%, so it's a noticeable amount, but the thing is they don't
40.
have it. Yeah.
We're getting the hand signals of 40%.
So 40%, and that's not a lot when you have 120 AP.
Yeah.
So they had to back out. They didn't go for the inhibitor. A smart move because, you know, Curse would be back with full HP and, you know, cooldowns being, yo, we're going to kill you now. But they take the red buff. They do have that outer turret now. They can still push. They can still be aggressive. They can still be the that we've seen, you know, in the past 20 minutes, going for turrets, going for objectives.
Yeah, and the past 2 fights that have looked really good for have been a flash Rune Prison from Ryze. I would wholeheartedly expect, you know, in addition to a Twisted Fate ban, maybe a Ryze ban, because Messiah is playing it so he's not sitting back and waiting for, you know, he's not waiting for Alistar to aggress. He's not waiting for Sona to get in there. He's saying, I'm Ryze, I build tanky, I'm not squishy Zyra. I'm going to get in there and show you how it's done. I'm going to show you how to engage. And Flash Rune Prison has been working wonders for WeGigabyte.
He has a Rod of Ages, he has a Frozen Heart, and he actually just picked up a Negatron Cloak, so nothing's going to hit him all that hard.
Not at all.
He can go in, he can be risky, and that's, you know, the advantage Ryze has over other APs. Look at Jackie. He has really no tankiness. If he takes damage, he dies.
Yeah, and we saw that last fight.
Ryze just like, yo, you hit me, but it black. I'm just saying yo a lot today.
Yo.
But he's like, yo,
YOLO.
You hit me, YOLO. And YOLO for Ryze actually, he hasn't died yet.
Yeah, he definitely is 0-0 and 6 right now. The only member on WeGigabyte to have 0 deaths. There's no point in this game where he's visited that otherworldly plane. But right now, it's looking good for WeGigabyte. You know, Alistar has been great. I mean, I can't single anyone out on WeGigabyte just because they've all so good. They're all playing so well together, and that's the thing.
Curse is playing well too. That's the thing. They're both strong teams. We saw that earlier team fight in the jungle where they were able to pick off 2 members of We just with their good AoE. But
is Westrice going to make the same mistake?
Not again.
Don't do this again, Westrice. Learn from your past mistakes.
Oh god, Alistar's going to pulverize him. Don't do it, Alistar.
Oh, I'm having deja vu right now. Actually, he's going to try to stand United away. He does get out. They're waiting out the Shadow Dash, and he just used his ultimate to get away. But now they know when they check that brush, the only way he could have gotten out of there is stand United. They know it's not up, and that is a huge factor. Westrice just lost his split push potential for the next minute to 2 minutes.
But he didn't die, and they did not, you know, win the game right there, which was totally a possibility with Westrice going down.
But he shouldn't have been there in the first place.
No, he should not have been there. That was a mistake. Westrice, you know, got to watch your split push, and you can't split push too much. That's actually a good counter when you have the map control like this, because they can't take Baron.
Look at the
from
wards.
Curse.
I see no wards from Curse except for one.
They don't
right
know
outside
where
the base.
WeGigabyte's going to be. Oh god, Westrice, is it going to be this? Okay, no, he's backing up early this time.
Okay, good.
But
man, oh man, there's roughly like 2 wards for Curse right now, and it's only just outside of their walls. Look at WeGigabyte. WeGigabyte sees the whole red jungle right now. That's what they see, and I mean, just excellent ward coverage from them. I think the Oracles may have gone down. I don't think Elements has. Actually, he still does have Zor. He still does have Zor. He did not die last fight. I do remember that. So he still has the Oracles, but when you have Oracles and you're relegated to you can barely leave your base, you can't put it to its maximum efficiency because you're too scared to go in the jungle and clear enemy wards. And right now, it looks like we is ready for this Baron to come up in just a second. Oh, they're going to catch Westrice. Don't do this again. Don't do this again.
Well, they're checking as a team, but the thing is, they're scared. The Baron should
Elements
be up
walked
soon.
right past the ward. I don't think he spotted it.
Oh, Element.
Oh, this could be bad. They have no idea where Gigabyte is right now. They have no clue what is about to happen to them. Will they face check? There's a flash failure crescendo. There's an equalizer and the pulverized knockup onto 2 members of Curse. See you later, Soraka. Have fun, Corki. A fantastic engage from Gigabyte. A triple kill for Rise. Westrice forced to flash and shadow dash out of there. This is going to be game. Gigabyte. Wow,
they just won. They evaporated.
Fantastic positioning.
Curse. All of Curse got hit by the Sona ultimate. All of Curse got hit by the equalizer. All of Curse
absolutely
got
blindsided.
Destroyed. That was just amazing play from Gigabyte. You know, Curse, they got nervous, I think. They freaked out. Elements didn't spot the ward. They were wandering around the jungle in a very just risky position, and, well, they got punished for it.
Oh,
Gigabyte,
absolutely
great
blindsided.
play in the end there. You know, they're coming in. They were favorites. They did lose to Legion, but right now they're still looking strong.
They're playing with a vengeance. You know, they've got a fire burning, and right now, that was top 10. That was easily top 10. I don't know if it was number 1.